welcome to Blackbriar Gaming. Today, we're going to look at the leaked contents page of the upcoming Liber Imperium. Labelled as the forces of the Emperor's army list, we've got the Custodes, the Sisters of Silence, the Solar Auxilia, and the Divisio Assassinorum. Now, a reminder that this is a leaked page, a leaked pic of a page has popped up. I saw it pop up on Facebook, so we can't be 100% confident that it's legitimate, but honestly, I'd be pretty surprised if someone took the time to throw this together. Just doesn't seem likely, and this all seems to make a lot of sense. A quick note before we get into it, a subscribe and a like really helps us reach a bigger audience, so if you enjoyed the video, please hit those buttons down below. Also, be sure to check out our affiliate link in the description. So, here we are. We have the Liber Imperium contents leaked all over the internet. Some really exciting. I know a lot of people are waiting for this one. They're pretty pumped to get their Custodes or their Solar Auxilia or the Sisters of Silence onto the table. We have Assassins coming. We know the Assassins have been coming for a while. We've seen them being presented in the Warhammer community page. The cool ones, New Adamus, the Venenum, that sounds awkward, and the Vanus Infosite Assassin. Those are the three new models that we've seen. And then you obviously have the existing ones, the Vindicator, the Calexis, the Calidus, the Eversor, it sounds awkward. Then you've got the Clade Operatives in there as well. That might be an overarching description of the Marul, or it might be a unit. I assume it's a unit if it's in here, but maybe not, because we see in the contents in other areas, the Silent Sisterhood special rule gets its own page. So the Clade Operatives might just be a couple of pages describing how we use the Assassins, how we mix them into different armies, what they get up to. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So let's just take a breath, have a look at what we've got here. So, Custodes to begin with. Now, the Custodes, pretty similar to what we've seen already. In fact, exactly. So we've got units for all of these existing within first edition. The only one I wasn't quite sure about there was the Custodian Tribune. I don't think that was in the 7th book, Inferno, but I'm pretty sure rules for that came out afterwards. I didn't go chasing it down because it was just that one unit there. But yeah, so nothing new or exciting from my understanding for the Custodes. Will be interesting to see how GW balances them, but now's not the time to get into that. Now, Sisters of Silence is where things get really spicy, but we'll save them to last. So, jumping across to the Solar Auxilia, once again, everything seems pretty standard here. Don't think there's anything crazy going on. It all looked very familiar, so I didn't go diving for comparisons in that one. Same going over to the Assassinorum. There's nothing that we don't know about already there, and that's all pretty known stuff. Standard Assassins, they're going to be on the table. It's going to be great. But where this contents page, and look, if that was it, and the Sisters of Silence just had their existing units, geez, this would be a boring leak. But the exciting thing about this leak and this contents page is that the Sisters of Silence army list has a whole bunch more units than they had in first edition and that they got in the Inferno book. So let's have a close look at what exists from first edition and what looks new and what potentially that could be. So, starting Janisha, there we go, these names, I tell you what. Janisha Kroll, yep, that carries over, that's our special character from first edition. Moving down, then you've got the Knight Abyssal and the Knight Centura. So, from first edition, we had the Oblivion Knight Centura. So, I dare say that's a bit of a one-for-one for the Knight Centura there. That is the kind of HQ unit for the Sisters of Silence that wasn't their special character, and that wasn't the Cruciatus Cater. We'll get into that in a second. But what we do have new here is that Knight Abyssal. So if the Knight Centura is just a one-for-one from that existing HQ unit, the Knight Abyssal is something new. I dare say a HQ unit. Dare say doing something a little different from the Centura. Abyssal sounds dramatic, hopefully killing lots of things. We'll wait and see. Now, the next unit we had from first edition was the Sisters of Silence Excruciatus Cater. Now, it was a bit of a, it's got the Questoras in there, it's got the Silent Judge in there. Interesting unit. As you can see, some of those names flick across. So the Silent Judge, which was that, I guess the sergeant, if you will, of that unit, is there on page 47. Correction, 46. There we go. Whereas we now have the Questor Cater. So it looks like what they've done is just broken the Excruciatus Cater into 2 separate units. Very nice. And that means, I assume, that the Silent Judge and then its counterpart, a new unit, the Silent Fury, will be characters or independent characters that you can attach to squads or whatever that looks like, whereas the Questor Cater will probably fill the role of this Excruciatus Cater, there we go, but won't have the Silent Judge inherently within their unit. So the new one there, all that to say, the new one there is that Silent Fury. So not so judgy, bit more furious. Once again, something that will no doubt unleash a whole lot of pain on the table for your opponent. Moving down the list, we start to see other things popping up. Now, we'll skip over the Raptora and Knight Vestal for now and go to the things we know. So we start to 1-for-1 and see existing units coming across. So the Oblivion Knight Cater, we had that in first edition, same for the Prosecutor Cater, very good. We have the Vigilator Cater, and we have the Acquisitor there, very good, same. We have the Pursuer Cater. Now, things get a little strange. So that's kind of the existing units. You can see there's a whole bunch more than what we've talked about. There is the Seeker Cater. So we've got the Seeker Cater. That was a existing unit in first edition, and we don't see the Seeker Cater here. Now, I dare say they got rid of Seeker as a name because we've got the Legion Seeker Squad, or whatever that's called. I think that's right. For the Liber Assassinorum, of course. So I think they just didn't want to double up on the Seeker name, so they may have renamed this squad as something different. So what did the Seekers do? Well, the Seekers had flamers for the most part. That's what they're about. They loved to purge, but they also had access to these grenade launchers with psych-out grenades. So if we look on down, we've got, as new units under the Pursuers, the Firebrand Cater and the Subjugator Cater. Now, this is just supposition. It's my guess that the Firebrand Cater will be the new Seeker Cater with the flamers there, and perhaps the option for those grenade launchers was taken away from the Firebrands and turned into an entirely new unit that they may have named, and look, it could be any of the new units, but let's guess and have a stab and say it's the Subjugator Cater. It may be the Expurgator, yep, sure, Cater, but let's just say it's the Subjugator Cater, and they're the same pretty much unit, but with the grenade launcher options. Now, that leaves so many new units here. So if we go right back to the start, what that leaves is the Knight Abyssal, 1. We've got the Silent Fury, 2. The Raptora Cater, that could be interesting. We've got the Knight Vestal Covenant. We then move down. We've got the, let's say, the Firebrand of the Subjugator is just the Seeker broken out into it. We then have access to a Termite Assault Drill. We know what that does. Not overly exciting. That's fine. That was, I believe, a thing they could do. I'm having a look now, looking through it. Oh, maybe not. Maybe that's a new thing they can do. They could certainly get access to the Inquisitor, but could they take a Termite Drill? Doesn't look like the first edition Sisters of Silence could take a Termite Drill. So there we go. That's a cool new thing they'll get access to. But then we have these another 2 new units, the Sanctioner Cater and the Expurgator. It's not a real word, team. The Expurgator Cater. Okay, sure. So in total, that is 1, 2, 3, 4... 5, 6 new units. Did I miss one there? Maybe. What did I miss? Let's just say it could be 7 or 8. We don't know, but let's say it's 6 new units that we don't have models for. That's really exciting. So what could GW do here? Well, they might release some new Sisters units. Certainly in first edition, the Sisters of Silence couldn't really stand up on their own. As an army, they really needed the Custodes to join in with, or they needed to be allied to a legion or another army of some type. building out an entire Sisters of Silence army on its own had some real weaknesses. So this is no doubt GW's attempt to shore up some of those weaknesses and let you run a Sisters of Silence army all on its own, which I really love. I think the Sisters of Silence are just so representative of that grim, dark feel to the Heresy. Just chasing down psychers, hunting them, locking them up, taking them away to do weird things with them. I really like it. I think the models look absolutely fantastic, both the ones, the plastic, and the ones from Forge World. So hopefully we see a few new units. Now, some of these might not get new units. For instance, the Silent Fury might just be the Silent Judge miniature, but it has slightly different war gear or slightly different rules. Same. The Knight Abyssal versus Knight Centura might be the same model with some different rules. But surely, out of the Knight Vestal Covenant or the Raptoricator, the Sanctionicator, the Expurgatorcator, that rolled off the tongue easier than the third time I said it, these units hopefully will have new miniatures to go with them. And hopefully we see those spoiled or shown to us pretty soon by the Warhammer community site. We've had all the assassins now. I know tomorrow is the reveal for something new from the Heresy, so I'd love to see some new Sisters of Silence miniatures. I think we will. I think there's too many unit options here to just be repurposing the old ones. It might be that they release some upgrade kits, much like your special weapons or your heavy weapons, to do different things with the existing kits, but I don't think so. I think we're going to see something new. Really excited about it. Really glad that Sisters of Silence now look like they can stand on their own 2 feet and be an army all of their own. So that is pretty much everything I wanted to talk about with those leaks. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're as excited about the Sisters as I am. I hope there's something in here for you. For all those Custodes and Solar Auxilia players especially, you'll get to run your armies very soon. Can't wait for it. It's going to be great. Let me know in the comments which army from the Liber Imperium or which specific units you are most excited about getting on the table. And importantly, make sure to keep rolling those dice and getting hyped for Heresy.